I was thinking we would stand up if there's no objection. We'll get to the sitting, but please begin on your feet. Find your mountain pose. All the chakras are associated with mountain pose, for it's here that we align ourselves and other places as well. But practicing awareness of the central channel, line up, spine, arranging that axial body, stretch your feet. Know yourself. How do you tend to throw yourself off balance here? Do you stick your belly forward? Do you stick your head forward? Do you slump? All relaxed. Floating hands, floating arms to float and be heavy. Feel how they get a little heavy. Breathe out, bring them to your sides. Hug your arms in gently. Feel that gathering into the center, into the midline, a calming, a grounding. Breathe out again. Lightly tone your low belly as you exhale. Keep that inhale rib cage. Exhale rib cage. Finish in the belly. One more time. So not super stiff or anything, but just very organized, intentional, and grounded strongly into your belly. Then reach up your arms, inhale, spread your fingers, do a step out to easy wide, just to give your feet a new spot. Breathe in again, raise your face. Breathe out, squeeze and pull. Reach shoulder blades, pull elbows down into the sides. Go slowly. Let's do up to 10 of these. You could gradually increase your speed or stay really slow with it, all fine. Adding that pumping breath, a breath of fire, or just stay with steady breathing. Your body, your experience. Maybe one more. It's nice to finish with a slow one. Pull down. Forehead sweep. Hands together, lift the skin of your heart and step back to mountain. Equal standing. Breathe in deeply. Out. Vibration, sound, energy. Breathe. Step so you have room for your arm circles. Easy wide feet. Turn out comfortably. Grounded. Gesture of pouring out and letting go. Nice watery gesture. Cross your thumbs, leave your fingers, and pop your index fingers out. Kaspana Mudra. Stay grounded in your belly, in your legs, and in your shoulders as you bring up your arms. Gaze up, squeeze a bit, causing no harm. Just a little activation is all that's needed. One more time, breathe out. And relax your hands. Keep them together though. Draw circles to the right side, above the line of the waist for 2. Very mindful. Follow your hands with your face. If you wanted to just leave your fingers or do something different, that would be okay. And now adding a bigger circle for the second one. Let your breath flow with this energy. Last one, last variation, the knee bend as you come down a squat. And again. All the way to the top, give a little squeeze, breathe in. Breathe out a slow release of your arms. Let your elbows bend and ground into your belly. Exhale. Pick up and place your feet back down. Second side. Much less explanation needed. to the left. Draw a circle with your fingers above the line of your waist. Remember to make every choice compassionately. Make your circle bigger, whatever that is in your body. Let this help you get out of your head a little bit. Get in your body. Bend your knees for the last two. Little engagement at the top with an in-breath. Spread feet, elbows bend, Qigong style. Move hands with breath and ground. It's a half moon day. Please turn to the right side of your mat for a Chakra Namaskar. Bring up your arms, a little side bend to the right. Inhale to center, and a little side bend to the left. Inhale, center, gaze up. Exhale, bring down your arms, step to goddess pose, wide feet. Knees bend towards the toes, come down the center. Upright spine. Reset your feet a bit. What do you need to do? Just feel your way in. And now let's add that elephant arms with the thumbs resting at the third eye. Elbows together. Creates an upright spine and grounds your brain. One more time. Release, breathe in. Triangle pose to the left side of your mat, or to the right, possibly. I would get confused if I tried to sort that out. I hope this is not too complicated to follow. Triangle pose, extending out, grounded and open, aware in your low back. Don't do too much. Eyes sideways to the sky, 5 breaths, rhythmic. Through the nose, gentle sound. One more time. Breath to belly center. And we're focusing on this today, this grounded below the navel and the second chakra, the sacrum area of the body. Come up. Parsvottanasana comes next, so turn to the front of your mat. Find your balance with your legs straight. Nice to keep working on this one. Bring your hands behind your back. Start low. Come together in some way. Come up your back if it feels okay, and lift your elbows back. Breathe in, stargaze. Breathe out, big toe or shin gaze. Try to release excess effort once you've come into the shape. Long neck, press feet, and long sides. Inhale energy to rise up, wait for your own breath, and a little stargaze at the top, a little back bend, and release. Transition now to Anjaneyasana. You may use blocks, coming down with your back knee to the floor. I like a little, not just straight up and down space, like the neutral. I space my foot out a little further to allow. So we gotta work with our proportions. Open your hip flexors, hands to your low back, palms in, fingers down, mindful of the front shoulders, guiding yourself into this spinal extension, back bending, downward gaze. Don't overdo with your hips or your spine. Concentrate on just the right amount. And release. Side lunge. You're going to turn back to the right side of the mat with your left foot bending out towards the toes, knee towards the toes, and the other leg extended into the side lunge on the leg or down on the floor. Loving awareness as we load this leg from the foot to the hip, lengthening the inseam of the back leg. One more breath. Over to the other side, beginning to circle back, up and over. Same pose, knee and toes turn out the same degree. Lunge over till it feels right. Find a way to support for 5, 4. Nice flow of energy through the spine, including your neck. Nice and centered. Breathe out. Anjaneyasana. Come up. Turn to the back of your mat and bring down your back knee. Take your time. Come in. If you know where you're going, you can just head there. But always check in with a beginner style mind. Finding just the right amount in the moment, in real time. Remember the downward gaze. One of our default settings anyway, that down and center. Breathe out. One more time. Releasing to Parsvottanasana, that is stand up. Keep your feet spaced similarly to where they are. Nice to come up and take the arms behind. Do the lift and then the fold. Lengthen out and down. Be where you are with your hand position, no forcing. No holding back. Last one. A nice determined inhale to stand up from this pose with straight legs. Go back. Release. Triangle pose. Turn out to the right again. The back foot turning out. Over and down when you're ready. Extending out of the pelvis. Side gaze towards the ceiling. Unforced. Next time you inhale, try to really expand your ribs. Exhale down to the pelvis. And then inhale, stand up. Back to the fierce angle of goddess pose. Settle in, down and centered. You can change the angle of your feet to accommodate everything. Traditional arms. Dance the fingers, elbows float. Meditative breathing and gazing. Let's be with the energy of this pose today. How does this experience feel? Coming up, ground your hands, step in. Interlace, press up. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale right. Doesn't need to be a big movement. Inhale, center, gaze up. Release your hands carefully and bring them down into your sides. 2 steps to the front of your mat, and then the gesture of inner listening. It's okay if you needed more steps. Press your pinkies together and just receive the information of that sequence of movement. Standing back then into warrior A. Left leg first. Lunge. Forward facing on your mat. Space out your feet. Like Anjaneyasana, we have a spinal extension, a back bend here. So you can do that same guidance of the pelvis with your hands back there. Versus touch in, hey sacrum. Maybe the upward arms, shoulders down. Plane of the face lifts towards the sun. Very nice. I'm gonna ask you to spin it around today. You can keep your gaze up at your thumbs or look down, feel your way around. Do what you need to do to change to the other side. For 1, 2, it's a meditation. 3, and 5, transfer it to where your B hands come down. The back foot turns and takes the torso to the side, and the arms reach out, and we add that head turn. Check in with your feet, your legs, your spine. Infinity gaze off your fingertips. One more breath. Adding energy to the shape, not exhausting yourself, but changing sides now. Turn your gaze, check it, say hi to your other arm, change your feet. A moment to refine. Nice, easy flow of energy. I forgot what I was going to say. You just don't want to be floppy. I think that's what I was talking about, that we want to add energy to it, but not too much. One more breath with that idea. Maybe grow the energy a little bit at the end and then let it soften slowly, come down and release. Come back to the top section of your mat and do just a bit more standing practice. Down the dog yet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Sun gratitude. Oh, yes. Halfway lift, extend your arms and spine. Notice that engagement in the pelvis here. So that's our focus, main focus today. Second chakra, sacrum. Breathe out, plank pose. Where's your sacrum? Guiding yourself into the back bend of upward facing dog from your knees, just the right amount. Back to a puppy pose, tuck your toes. Sit back towards your heels and bring your head down, elbows and armpits up. So we are lengthening the spine like downward dog. Head down like downward dog. And open chest. Breathe out. Lengthen, 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 breathing out. Rise up to tabletop cow. Release your toes. Start with your head. Go to cat spine. Head down, mid-back lifts. Curl and flex to your tail. Start with your tail. Inhale. Gradually move through the bones of the spine. Exhale, start with your tail to reverse. One more time, as you like. Maybe add a little shoulder blade squeeze. And spread. Release. Downward facing dog, or back to the puppy. Just changing the legs. Pushing the weight with your hands back to your legs. Use your belly strength. Move your pelvis back over your legs. One more time, breathe deeply out. Lift your knees if they're down. Stepping forward. Picking up your hands to halfway lift. It doesn't matter where you end up on your mat. Breathe out, forward fold. And standing up, inhale. Exhale. again. Forward fold. Super slow breaths. Inhale, half lifting pose. There's still the energy of inhale this whole time, and then going back. So you may pause and then breathe out once you step back to your plank. Spinning 5 breaths here. Line up the center, maybe the knees are down. Open hands, press. You can engage your fingertips a little bit. See if that helps you find strength there. Try relaxing the fingertips. And bring down your knees. Release your toes. Upward dog or cow spine. Back bend. Work your way in. So working with proportions in the arms and the torso here. Downward dog or puppy. 5 breaths. If you'd like, lift your toes a bit. Knees can be bent. And firm your thighs, stretching out lower leg muscles. Breathe out one more time. And then coming to your knees, rising up to balance there. If you'd like to take your blanket under your knees, you may have a moment for that. Find your mountain on your knees. Notice where your energy is. Gaze and breath. Camel pose, Ustrasana. Teach yourself to feel the tops of your feet pressing down. So this is something we don't usually do in like certain things ask us to. Stand on your knees. Camel, long spine, hands back, just like we've done in Anjaneyasana and Warrior A earlier. So tall, pelvis forward, lift ribs, gaze down. If you like, you can take your head back. Lengthening your front body, keep your feet grounded. 2, 3, it's normal for it to feel a little excitement in your nervous system. One more time. And then reverse out, head last. So pelvis comes, chest, then head. And go back into your child's pose of choice. You do more of a rabbit on the top of your head with your hips up or slow back. Bend your knees if you need to. Sacrum spreading. Low back breathing. Breath slowing down. One more time. Slowly breathing out. Rising up and out to your belly. You may do the transition through dolphin and forearms if you like. To keep up that exploration. And stretch out your arms. So the water element is associated with the second chakra. Let's just do a little belly swimming. Lifting opposite limbs. Or just lifting the arms one at a time. A little free flow with the movement. Do your best if that challenges you, if you're really linear. Just go side to side. Maybe the opposite leg is lifting. Nice long neck, not looking too far up and forward. Do 2 more on each side. Last one. Half frog pose to the right side. Stay on your belly, bring your leg up beside you. Curl over that direction if you'd like and support your head comfortably. Let go of your muscular effort. The second chakra is a yin energy in the body. It's associated with pleasure, emotions, creativity. When it's balanced, we experience a natural flow in our lives and our feelings. And it depends upon the root chakra, the groundedness, that stability. We build on each other. Slowly come back to center for Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. But we'll do the other side. So we need an activation and reaching of the legs. Feel that activate all the way up to your sacrum. You can do a little feedback there if you'd like, because this is a back bend. So we do that same pelvis forward lift, rib cage, gaze down with the support of our hands. So elbows in, lift up, ground your pelvis. You can explore lifting higher or stay more on your belly. No harming. One more time. Carefully come down. Make sure that you don't overdo. Slowly transition to this kind of forward fold and side bending shape of half frog. Your heart rate will slow down. You may notice it. By focusing on stillness. And there's a nice quality here with a deep rounded front body and then this opening at the pelvis. Balancing the chakras through practice, through yoga. Coming out, take your time. Transition to downward dog. Your choice. Step forward, fold forward, standing forward, fold. Hang down, free movement, you may rock. Hands where they feel nice. Lengthening the sides of your torso. Knees might be bending. All the permissions. It's a grounding pose, so it's a root chakra pose as well. Sensing your pelvis for 2 more breaths. Feel that forward tilt. The connection between the legs and the torso. Winslow, get off the bed, dude. Breathe out one more time. Come up to standing. How do you like to do this? The squat is always good to work into leg, or you can do that coming up, reaching up, and breathe out. Go on. Go in and keep the boy. Half moon day. Let us back to our feet so we can explore half moon pose. If you have blocks, you can use them. And start with the position of triangle with your left foot forward on your mat and you're facing the right side. It's a lot like triangle, over, down, but then lifting the back leg. Triangle's good. You can go hold on to a wall, use your blocks. So the pelvis is turned to the side. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Just do your best. Try something. If it's not outrageous, the last thing might be the upward gaze, like triangle. Maybe no problem. We won't know till we try. One more time. Bending your standing knees, you land lightly. Come up to a little bit of a reverse warrior. And release. Other side. Doesn't matter how you do that. Ardha Chandrasana. As you're ready. Every bit of this is part of the pose, finding the balance, lifting the leg, finding the gaze, focusing your mind, breathing. Taking away some excess effort if that's possible. One more time. Mindful release, come down slowly. Stand up and do a little back bend. Release. Coming back down. Do the press up and just a little free movement. Bring your hands behind your skull, press back, lift your chest, breathe in. Slowly fold forward, breathing out. Give your spine the time it needs to do that transition. Step your legs back. And coming to pigeon pose or figure four on your back. Your right leg forward with your right heel in front of your left hip, slide your left leg back. Blankets can be nice to support that hip, to help you stay upright and balance and come forward. Got to customize this for your body. Come out and down in some way, release excess effort and just work with compression here. The compressive energy of gravity. One way to keep that from being too strong, too heavy is to engage the low belly and the pelvic floor. We've got that groundedness and then that open pelvis together again. Looking at energetic qualities. There are these physical ones and these energetic ones. Stay for one more breath. And coming and releasing your hip joint with some free movement. Can be done for table, dolphin, or downward dog. On your back, just do some free hip movement. If you're there, you don't have to leave. Move that hip joint around in some way. Slowly breathe twice more with that exploration. Coming to the other side. It might be a different situation a little bit or a lot, and that's to be expected. And Part of our practice is figuring that out and working with it on each side. Give yourself that support if you'd like. It's fine to come to your back body for one side. Just scan, make sure nothing is out of sorts. Sensations okay. Deep sensations okay. No pain, no harm. One more breath. The exhale grounding to the belly supports this release. So we've got some deep work happening in the spine and the hips. Come out with awareness. Do some hip releasing on this side of your choice. Knee movement, pre-breathing. A little more downward dog time or wherever you are working. And come down. Cross your ankles and sit carefully. Do that in your own way. Leading sitting. Leading sitting practice. So socks. Have anything that's going to make you comfortable. But just a blanket is nice. And come on to the back of your body. Always add in the lie down, lean straight. Move hair if necessary. You can reset your clothing. All right. Little bridge flow. Find your Tripada, your 2-foot pose here. Ground. So the sacrum is on the ground in this pose. So is the back of the skull. Where else do you feel yourself touch? By mapping that, you bring awareness to grounded energy. Tap into it. Let yourself be heavy. One more breath. Are your feet in their optimal positions for coming up? Walk them in close, a little wide from each other, and try to feel evenness in them. So you have equal power to press and lift. Add arms coming alongside your ears. So the shoulder opener, lift up and come down. If you need to separate those, that's fine. If you come up with your bridge and then do the arms, or if you do it together. Press the back of your skull into the ground to create the stability that your arms would normally make. One more time, flowing in the Tripada. Come on down. Ground again, letting go. Your neck long, sometimes coming down, we'll pull our chins up. We connect with that skull and then one knee at a time, bring them in. Side to side rock. Rest your big toes together, or you can cross your ankles. Feel how that helps ground the energy of the pose. Ananda Balasana. blissful baby. You can explore where you'd like to hold on, how wide you'd like your knees, movement, but mindful if you move. That's interesting, the big toe hold. Find your spot, settle in. Take it a little yin. 2 more breaths. Bring down your feet. Bring down your feet to the floor one at a time. Supta Baddha Konasana. So that work we've just done might have scooped your pelvis up and under you so your low back feels grounded coming in. You need to make an adjustment if you can, but should be a good preparation for this widening of the knees. Blocks could come in or a blanket tucked under your shins. Bring your hands under your skull and your elbows wide. You can do the diamond with your hands, thumbs and index fingers together. Figure out a way to settle into that if it works, or just hands behind the head. Upward facing triple diamond pose. Observe the second chakra area. Grounded to the back, open to the front. Anything that resonates with frustration, letting those feelings flow. Relax your eyes, breathing. One more circle of breath before bringing your knees back towards each other. Maybe a lift and lower to reset. Leave your fingers behind your skull and bring your elbows together, lift up and stretch your neck. Bring your chin towards your chest. Cradle that skull pretty strongly with your arms. Grounding in the pelvis. You can look down there. You just think about grounding that, this pose there. Roll back out, let your elbows open, press into the ground a bit, like we did standing, pressing the head back into the hands, gently energizing. Exhale, ground your belly, and then release your arms. Revolved abdomen pose as a yin pose. So it's one of our lying twists. So you might bring something between your knees. We shift to the whole left side of the pelvis and try to line up the knees one atop the other. Mindful of your shoulders. So, my hips appreciate a little support here. This is your sacrum reaching out into your legs. So this gives space for your pelvis. If you have a support between, it can be your toe prop, your fist, or some prop. Okay, and then the second part of this is the revolution of the mid-back and the neck. Settle your arms, causing no harm. Relax your belly for this one. Yin style. About 10 breaths time. Along your spine, if there's a zone or more than one that holds more tension than is comfortable, just gently observe and compassionately breathe into that space. Bring softness with your breathing. Easeful. All the way through and exhale. Reversing what we just did. So reverse your upper body and then shift your lower body back to center. Press your feet, lift up, centering. Your time. Other side as you're ready. Bring over your support if you're using it. Just make that transition. Pelvis to the side, knees stacking-ish. That topping doesn't have to come all the way out, but what this does is it stabilizes the sacrum and the lower back, moves the rotation up into the more twist-friendly thoracic and neck. What can you soften? Go again, relax your muscles, including your belly. If eyes closing is too distracting, do a softness in the eyes, partial closing, letting in light, shape. Slowing down. Last one. Take time releasing back to center, not wanting to disturb your body from the work that you just did. Pick up and resettle into center with your spine and your pelvis. And from here, let's rest. And we can finish at the end with some pranayama today. So if you've got a blanket, a pillow, and you want to put it somewhere to help you feel comfortable so that you can rest. And we don't do a super long rest, but looking pretty good time-wise today. So get nice and comfortable, warm. Do you need to wrap something around your eyes? You can wrap your legs with a blanket. Finding that balance of what effort you might need to put in with what benefit might be received. Keep it simple. Beginning maybe a 10 breath transition. Dropping back. Letting your front body rest into your back body. Your back body rest into ground, the earth. Inviting everything that's fluid about us to settle, like a clear body of water. Blood, your lymph, all the water in your cells. Let the water settle. And the moon and stars will be mirrored in your being. Perhaps this brings to mind a clear body of water out in nature. It's the idea of it. Can have a positive effect. Visualization can help with keeping you present, helping you settle. Considering a little bit of a lateral movement, or you may stay as you are. You're very content and just want to stay. That sounds nice to do a little banana pose here. Still very easeful, still free to meditate on the idea of clear water in the outdoors. A little shift over to one side with your feet and your head and shoulders. There'll be a little grounding that happens to support the arms overhead. Keep training our bodies to do this, to pull down low into the pelvis in the exhales. Anchoring the arms. Another breath on this side. Slow shift. Or stay still some more. Gently lengthening one of your sides and shortening the other. The free flow of whatever's in your head is fine. Just try not to attach to it too much. Use these techniques to stay present. It's time for the letting go of the stillness. Plenty of time for that practice, for you to freely explore that idea and Gradually sit. Your body, whatever feels nice, and letting go of the stillness. Our mobility to balance all of that stability today, and this measure of flexibility as well. Always come and sit in your own way, a little thunderbolt where you fold your knees in front or do the out to the side. Be nice just to keep your soft stuff with you. The gesture of the water element is the pinky finger connecting with the thumbs. It could also just be a meditation on the energy of your small finger. It's called the Buddhi Mudra, Bhudi. So with or without the touch, let your water settle again. Observe how having something to focus on specifically can be a way of guiding you to a meditation. Swallow. There's another watery zone in the body, the throat. Reach up, breathe in. Forehead sweep. Breathe out. Chin down. Take away the excess effort in your hands here. Thumbs just relax together. Balancing your skull by lifting the plane of your face with a long neck, gaze down. Lift the back of your skull, bring your chin down. Om, or humming, or just be with vibration, breathing out slowly. Inhale. Thank you. The rest of your day has a nice flow to it. You feel balanced. Let me know if you have more questions than I explain as we work on these philosophical and energetic concepts. Happy to keep it going.